What's up, guys? Welcome back, man, to the latest episode of the Terrible Towel post-game show. I am your host, Sim Football Critic, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about, guys. It's kind of late, so let me at least say that up front. It's kind of late, man, so I'm going to try to be mindful of time. You know, I'm on the East Coast. Luckily enough, I work from home, so I don't have to, be up extremely early, but I definitely don't want to drag this out too far. So I'm going to jump right into it. There's a lot to cover. Like it says in the title there, guys, we got our first win. But I have some big concerns. I have some really big concerns after this win. First and foremost, let's dive into some of the things that I want to make sure I get off of my chest really early. I'm going to give a shout out to my big brother. You know, it's my cousin, but it's really more so like another big brother. Grew up like my big brother. I want to give a shout out to my big brother, my cousin Floyd, man, which I call him Floyd. That's an inside joke there. You guys won't know that, but we'll just leave it as Floyd. I call him Floyd. He calls me Floyd. Again, y'all wouldn't know why, but he knows who he is. He wants me to make sure I cover Burns, Boswell, the penalties, the major pains of the team, Vance McDonald, Connor, and Hilton. Naming those three guys as some guys who showed up and who were beastly. So we definitely want to talk about that. He also wanted me to discuss the #1 pick and Bud showing up in times that we needed him to do so. So we'll definitely cover all of that. I got a ton of notes, guys, but I want you guys to keep me honest on that as well to make sure I remember that. Now, as luck would have it, guys, y'all know I do stuff in real time. You know this is live. I want to show you guys something. Y'all see that? I don't know if it's going to focus in. Let me see. Anyway, oh, here it is. I think it came up. All right, great. Got a new phone, guys, and at first it didn't seem like my notes was going to sync up because I took the notes on my MacBook, and, luckily enough, they transferred to my phone, so I thought I was going to have to do it off of the top of the head like I normally do. But it is what it is, man. I want to be a little more professional, guys, and start taking some notes and hitting on some key things. We'll run through the things that I got, and then I'll throw it to you guys to see what you guys got, and we'll rock out like that. So I want to talk about penalties. First of all, let me acknowledge something, man, and I don't know if a lot of people were paying attention to this. Ali Villanueva was getting his you-know-what whipped tonight. He was getting his tail whipped. Whether it was JPP or somebody else, I'm not as familiar with the Tampa Bay Bucs line. I know Gerald McCoy, obviously, what a beast he is. But listen, man, Villanueva was getting his butt kicked quite often, okay? He picked up 2 penalties. One of them was a holding. Both of them might have been a holding. I think one might have been a false start. But he was getting his tail kicked, man. And again, I can't wait to look at the all-22 and I'll really be able to see what's happening in his arena. But the boy was getting his butt kicked. First and foremost, let's get that out of the way. But a lot of penalties killed us, man. Sean Davis got a personal foul. Tuitt got one. I think Davis may have gotten another one. Dangerfield got one on special teams. Bostic got one. And Burhay got a face mask. And let me talk about penalties really quick, man. Guys, I'm fearing that the football that I've grown up loving is definitely fastly and grossly going away. As a guy who played on the defensive side of the ball as well, I played both sides, but, on the defensive side, I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to sack the quarterback to where it's not a penalty. Some of these things, man, that they're calling. Now, granted, Ben got a couple personal fouls on him. It was cool to see, and shout outs to Gerald McCoy, man. It was cool to see and hear him say, because he was mic'd up, my fault, Ben. I like seeing stuff like that. He ain't trying to hurt nobody. He's just out there trying to compete. That was, great to see. But then there was another one when Ben got hit on the head. To me, sometimes those things are inadvertent. So I don't think they should always be called, but it is what it is. But some of the other penalties, man, that went against us and against Tampa Bay, just crazy. You think about what happened to Clay Matthews 2 weeks in a row. I just don't know anymore. I don't know how you're supposed to lay to the side when you're coming and bearing down on a guy. At least it was cool to see that they picked up the flag with the Cam Hayward situation where he fell into Fitzpatrick. But I'm getting sick and tired of seeing what they're trying to do to the league. I understand you want to protect these quarterbacks, but at the end of the day, these guys are on the field. It's a lot of big bodies moving around and moving fast and waiting momentum. Come on, man. You can't expect these guys to check up all the time. Come on. It's just crazy. Now, if you are a step or two late, I get it. But in the throes of the action, come on, they got to go somewhere with that. So, all right, let me talk about some other things really, really quick, guys. We're going to go positive first, and then we'll go into the negatives. James Conner showed up late. Couple big runs. James Conner pretty much put the icing on the cake. It was great to see that. Didn't get the ball and wasn't featured with the ball as much tonight in his hand. He hasn't had a 31 a game, 31 attempts per game since the Cleveland game. We couldn't really do that against the Kansas City Chiefs because obviously we got into a big hole that we couldn't dig ourselves out of, so we understand that. But tonight, what I actually liked, man, is I liked the rhythm that we saw out of Ben Roethlisberger. Give me a second, guys. Should have had this up already, but I'm going to take a look at the stats for Big Ben. Ben balled out, and that's exactly why Ben is the thumbnail, to give him some shout-out. Ben, let's take a look at his digits, guys. Let's see here. Give me just a second. But I really liked what I saw out of Randy Fichtner late. The communication with him and Ben. I will say this, though. I was a little upset early because he's getting off to slow starts as well as Ben. And I say him as well because some of these things are play calls. And whether it's Ben calling the play on the first drive or Randy Fichtner, they got to get away from the fill-out process, kind of like you do in the first round, in a boxing match. I need to see them open it up a little more. Catch guys off guard, man, from time to time. Don't do the expected. On the other hand, I have to take my foot out of my mouth because on the last drive, I was like, man, don't run the ball so much. Don't be so predictable. And look, we pop off 2 big runs later in the game. And again, James Conner's run closes the show. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to be that person that when it works, it's all good. No, I still would like to see us to be a little more aggressive. But it is what it is. It worked great. Ben Roethlisberger's stats, guys, for you guys who didn't get a chance to watch the game. I have it here. Listen to these numbers, guys. 30 for 38, 353 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I got to get on Ben about that interception. Forcing the ball, man. He threw a pick early in the game. And it was on a scramble. It was a scramble drill. But Ben still, to me, forces things, and maybe that's a throw that he underestimated or overestimated, thinking he could make. Listen, I didn't play quarterback, but I feel like the throw he made on that pick, you got to throw it more to the sideline. Juju was going towards the sideline. The safety for the Bucs read Roethlisberger's eyes, pretty much like how Denzel Ward did in the Cleveland game, made a phenomenal play. So you're going to give him credit too. But again, it's times like that where I feel like sometimes Ben tries to do too much. And again, guys, this is 15th year in the league. It ain't like he's going to change. But if you're going to do that, you got to get that ball further to the sideline and only in a spot where your guy can get it. Or sometimes you're going to have those moments. So I thought we were going to see bad Ben on the road. We didn't see bad Ben on the road. Again, 30 for 38, 353 yards, 3 touches, and 1 interception. It happens. We saw good Ben. We saw phenomenal Ben at certain times. Ben was making Ben plays in that game, early on and late. Scramble drill, avoiding the sack, stepping up in the pocket. Ben was looking like the Ben of old. It's good to see him do that this early. Because y'all know how I've been talking about Ben the last few years. He gets off to these slow starts. So it's good to see him get into the groove with those things early. Let me knock out a couple more positives, guys. Then we're going to go straight negative on them. Let's get back in these notes here. So the first drive, I already talked about that, man. And I like to always, recount the first drive, both offensive, defensively. I didn't like seeing us go 3 and out. Very predictable on offense. Okay, first drive defensively. Let me find it here. Bostic misses a sack on that first drive. Steelers defense watches Godwin hit the ground, and they don't touch him. I'm sorry. That was the second half. Let me go back. First drive, okay. Fitz misses Evans across the middle, and if I'm not mistaken, that was a second down. There was an opportunity where they could have kept the drive going or getting the first down. Evans is open. Fitz throws it into the ground. But then eventually Hayden knocks the ball out on third down. Great play by Hayden. Let's give Hayden a round of applause, guys. Let me tell you something. Joe Hayden came in this game and he made a difference. He made some great plays in the game, solidified that defense a little bit, as did Cody Sensabaugh. Now, Cody Sensabaugh didn't play perfect, but Cody, stabilized the defense much better than Artie Burns. We're going to get there. We're talking about Artie Burns. We're definitely going to get there. Y'all hold tight. I'm going to get there. So then, what else did we do good, guys? Let me see. Vance McDonald and the round of applause to Vance McDonald. Wow. Bruh. If that won't the meanest stiff arm, bruh. Let me tell you something, man. When a dude hits you with the double stiff arm, the first one kind of caught him, and then the second one took him and just pushed him to the ground. Then he scampered 70+ yards. Wow. That is what we've been waiting for from a tight end, okay? Vance McDonald is giving us the guy that can stretch the field, can run after catch, physical. He's a bigger body. To me, he's a big body type of guy, and his build is kind of like Heath Miller. I don't know if might be a little taller than Heath, maybe about the same size, but he has that bulkiness like Heath did and the strength, but he can run. Again, we saw it last year in the Jacksonville game in the playoffs. That gave us a glimpse of what he can do. The boy just got to stay healthy. So I'm going to tell you right now, it warmed my heart to see him throw that stiff arm because, boy, he gets injured quite often. So to see him inflict something on somebody else, phenomenal. Wow. If we could get that type of run after the catch from a tight end, we got another weapon in the making. Love seeing that. It was clear to see, too, man, Juju, again, showing up. Juju is becoming a very, very, very key target for Ben Roethlisberger. James Washington had a couple key catches in that game. Like seeing that. What I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, guys, we won the game, right? Antonio Brown, phenomenal catch and getting into the touchdown, doing what AB does, quick little hitch, makes a guy miss, beats another guy to the end zone. Great. Numbers weren't that high. So I want to see if Antonio Brown is going to stick to what he's been saying this week, that it's not about the numbers, he just wants to win. The reason why I'm bringing that up, guys, it's early, but we might see a season where Juju might outperform AB yardage-wise and possibly receptions. Now, again, even if Antonio Brown's production decreases, it's not a big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not like he's going to suffer, with having to, meet, the qualifications to keep his contract, anything like that. That's not going to be a problem. We ain't got to worry about that. He don't got to worry about that. But because of AB and because of who AB is, he could very well be the reason why Juju continues to eat. You saw a lot of times at night they were putting Juju inside, in the slot. Loved it. Your boy Switzer, let's not forget him. Switzer looking like a little element out there. Nice little quick stick route to the outside. Or it might have been a zag, whatever you want to call it. But love seeing that. It was a good catch. He had to catch it, keep his footing, fall into the ground. Great. Love it. He might be another weapon. I really think Switzer is going to be another weapon for us, man. Offensively, I think, it was good to see our Barons getting back in order this week. Now, again, I don't know how good the Bucs defense is, so I don't know. But it's just good to see the offense clicking. Now, I'm going to say a couple more things, guys, about the offense. Just a few, perhaps. And then after that, we got to go defense, guys. We got to go defense. Let me see. Is there anything else that's important to mention about the offense here? Classic find by Big Ben to Juju to help close the game out right before James Conner gets his run. Ben made plays when he needed to make plays. I will give one good credit well, I'll wait till I get to the defense. But there's a couple things I could say positively about Artie Burns. Maybe just one. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes. And I see Kenyon is in here. So Kenyon, let me know, man, if you wanna come on here for a moment tonight and rock, I'll hit you up via Skype and I'll allow the good people to hear you. And I'll probably have to throw my headphones here so I can hear you. So just let me know. I'll keep looking here in the chat. Defensively, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is wrong with Chris Boswell? Folks, what is wrong with the Wizard of Boz? Let's go through the timeline. Cleveland Browns. We have an opportunity to win the ball game in overtime. Correct? That was overtime. Misses the field goal. Okay. It's kind of nasty out there, which, I know kickers practice kicking in nasty weather and practice and such, But gave him a slight pass, okay? Okay, we played the Kansas City Chiefs in beautiful weather. I mean, a beautiful September day in Heinz Field, the place where you practice all the time, right? Well, they practice at the practice facility, but you know what I mean. Okay? He misses a field goal in that game. And an extra point. Fast forward to the night. Boswell misses again a field goal and an extra point. Now, I'm not ready to throw him out with the bathwater. Not just yet. But Boswell, you better get it together. Let me explain to you why. We won the game tonight by how many points, guys? 3. 30-27, okay? The offense put up a huge cushion early, and they left it up to the defense to protect 20 points, right? And even better, they only had to protect 17. I mean, they had to protect as much as 17 points going into the fourth. You would think any other defense anywhere else, just in your normal psyche, 17-point lead, 15 minutes left, you should be able to close the game out. But the reason why I bring the points up is because if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a touchdown at the end of the game somehow, guess what? We lose. You know why? Because there's 4 points off of the board. So if they would have scored a touchdown late and those 4 points were on the board, we'd be tied. We'd be going into overtime. Now, that didn't happen, but you have to pay attention to that. Now, why do I bring this up, folks? Now, let's get to the defense. Clearly, we're going to need every single point we need to win football games because, my God, hold on. Let's go back to the statistics. Defensively, guys, I got so much to talk about here. Man, listen. Defensively, let's just look at the Buccaneers for a moment. Ryan Fitzpatrick had 411 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Now, some of these interceptions weren't just great interceptions. It was guys being in the right spot. It was John Bostic being in the passing lane, tipping the ball up. Great stuff. Mike Hilton tracking it down. Looks like somewhat of a miscommunication with Evans and Fitz, and he overthrows it. Goes to Edmonds. Again, you're going to give Terrell Edmonds the credit because, again, Terrell Edmonds, he's there. He's in the spot to make the pick. Didn't see that often with Mike Mitchell. Even though they're, different positions. They're, one's free, one's strong, But I'm just saying, Edmonds has shown us that he's around the ball, even if he doesn't make the play. He's around the ball. He's close to the ball, close enough to where he can honor the tip drill or an overthrow. Great stuff. Artie Burns. Your boy Artie Burns knocks the ball out and causes a fumble. One of the best things he did tonight because, boy, did he have a long and a bad night. Who else? There was another pick I'm missing, guys, because Fitz threw 3 of them. Let's go back to the stats. Not the stats. Let me go back to my notes. Oh, Bud. My boy Bud. Dropping back in linebacker coverage and undercuts and get him a nice stiff arm as well. Did y'all see that? Bud get him a stiff arm and he pick sixes it. Houses it. Beautiful. Okay, you look at the stat line, right? If you just look at the takeaways, the Pittsburgh Steelers basically have 4 takeaways, guys. 4. Okay? They have 4 takeaways, right? Now, you would think if you didn't watch the game and you didn't know the score and they told you, okay, Pittsburgh Steelers have 4 takeaways, sounds like the Steelers of old creating those type of turnovers and such, you would think the Steelers had a phenomenal game. But guess what? They did not. Because let's look at the notes, guys. You see me looking down. Let's talk about a couple of these things. First and foremost, the first drive after halftime on defense, Bostic misses a sack. The Steelers watch Godwin hit the ground. 3 guys around him and nobody touched him. Now, thank God that his foot kicked up and it touched Mike Hilton as Mike Hilton was on the coverage. And he was falling to the ground, speaking of Godwin. And they called that down by contact. But what happened to play to the whistle? Okay? And let me interrupt myself really quick because I want to ask you guys this question. I really want to know because I was watching the game with my father-in-law, Leonard, here actually at my home. He's actually here right now. But me and him always get into a debate over coaching. I want to ask you guys a serious question, and I want to get you guys opinions, real opinions now. Don't give me none of the blame game, blah, blah, blah. I want to hear real opinions like I asked you guys to do a week or so ago. What can Coach Tomlin or anybody else on the coaching staff, what can they do to make players more disciplined in terms of individual things? For example, Darius Hayward-Bay. Ridiculous. On that special teams penalty, and then he gets a personal foul for beefing with the ref. How can the coaching staff stop stuff like that? How can the coaching staff prevent a guy from holding a defensive foul? A guy leading with his helmet like Bostic did. That was stupid. Reason why I'm asking because, and rightfully so, when you're the coach or the coaching staff, you're supposed to be held accountable for a team being disciplined. I get it. I mean, I know the name of the game. But I legitimately want to know, what can coaches do about that? Some people say, get them out of the game. Okay, well, who do you replace them with? I'm seriously asking that question. Think about in the Cleveland game when Artie Burns gets tied up with Jarvis Landry, takes his helmet off. How does the coaching staff rectify that? Now, there were many coaching things that I could point to in this game. I'll just, point out a few. I'm seeing formations, guys, when it's John Bostic and there's Vince Williams and it's an obvious passing down. I don't know what we're doing there, right? A couple of the times we actually blitzed one of those guys up the middle and got home. A lot of times we blitzed, and we blitzed a ton tonight. We didn't get there, but we were disruptive, getting Fitz off of his spot. Another thing, I keep seeing Bostic get matched up against the tight end down the middle of the field. What happened to all of that talk, man, in training camp where we said, oh, we might see some dollar, we might see, 3 safety sets. However, Burnett wasn't out there, I know, but we didn't really see that against Kansas City as well. We still, from time to time, we get caught in cover 2, and you get caught with the linebackers, middle linebackers playing the middle of the field, the middle read, for you guys that know that terminology. And Bostic is unable to do it. It just is what it is. Now, there was one play that, he ran with Howard pretty well, got his hand up and, got the ball out of there. But for the most part, Fitzpatrick was able to take advantage of the middle of the field. And I don't know how we correct that, to be honest with you, because we don't have the linebackers capable enough to do it. We just don't. We don't have those guys right now. And again, it might have to get to a point where we're primarily sub-package, which we do a good amount of it now, but I'm talking about getting the matchups where we can maybe match up one of the safeties. If you're playing cover 2 out of the nickel, maybe you allow the sub linebacker to play that middle read, because we getting killed, man. And that's my biggest concern. Secondary, guys, Artie Burns is not it, man. I've been trying to give Artie Burns some some leeway, but this is his third season. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. And I think Mike Tomlin showed us that tonight when he had to rotate, not even rotate. He starts Cody Sensabaugh. And if you noticed, every time we were in the base package, base defense, it was Cody. Cody played better than Artie. Cody gave up some stuff too, but he played better than Artie. And Mike Hilton went down later in the game. That changed things because, oh boy, did you guys see when that Burhead was out there? My goodness. Wow. Luckily enough, Fitzpatrick and the boys weren't able to take advantage of it, but oh boy, did we have some mismatches going on out there. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can activate a guy like Marcus Allen if he's ready, because you guys have to remember this. And this was the debate I was having as well with my father-in-law, with Leonard. He was saying, oh, we got to, try somebody else, or we got to do something. And I'm like, you got to understand this, guys, and this is for all of us, because, I get emotional too watching the game. The team is set. It ain't like we can just hit the reset button now. This is your squad. We're going into week 4 now. Who you have on your roster is who you have on your roster. Now, as far as roster, let's try Matthew Thomas out a little bit, man. Can we try Matthew Thomas a little bit? At least he's taller and he can run. So on plays that you expected to possibly be a pass and you want to go with that particular coverage, can we throw him out there? And then, of course, if you do that, you're going to have to mix him in some running plays as well, so teams can't get a read on that knowing, oh, they're going to be in pass defense, because here comes a different linebacker. But can we try him out? And granted, Bostic made some good plays tonight. Got a sack. He made some good tackles against the run. We snuffed the run out pretty good. Bostic didn't play bad. It's just that Bostic is not the guy that can cover down the field. He's not good in zone. It just is what it is. He's more a guy that, put him in there in the run situations. Maybe put him in there to blitz, because sometimes he was getting some pressure up the middle. He's a stocky guy, so he was pushing some guys back. But it just is what it is, guys. And that just goes to show you how much Ryan Shazier was able to compensate for the deficiencies we had. Ryan Shazier taking a lot of that away. Think about how many pickoffs Shazier was getting in coverage, because he's that fast. And he was rangy. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes, fans, we just have to understand that we don't have what we once had. We don't. We knew that. It's a gaping hole, and that's my biggest concern. Because do you guys, I'm going to keep reminding y'all this every week. Y'all know who we got to play? Drew Brees? Matt Ryan with all of them killers on their offensive side? My man Calvin Ridley doing his thing now, which, I've gave people a few suggestions about him being on their fantasy squad, and look what he did yesterday. They got, oh boy, they gonna give us fits. And it might not even be Ridley and Julio. It's gonna more than likely be Mohamed Sanu in the scene. Boy, we got problems, folks. We got problems. We're facing some guys who can sling that ball, man. Phillip Rivers. The Chargers always give us a good game for the most part. You see what I'm saying? And let's not rule out next week Joe Flacco, man. They got a couple weapons out there with Moore and Stevie Brown and Crabtree. Listen, we got to be on our keys, man. I do not like what I'm seeing out of this defense. I know it's early, guys, but I'm telling you, this stuff, man, we need to try to implement changes now. And shout outs to my man J.J. Walker. Round of applause. And Kenyon, I don't know if you replied, man. I haven't seen it. I'm going to try to keep my eye on it if you wanted to come on via Skype. But, guys, this is a tough situation, man. This is a tough situation that we're in. We're facing some guys who can throw that football. I'm getting nervous because, again, I know it's early, and we've seen this song and dance from our Steelers year after year the last 4 years or so. I'm tired of seeing it. But again, guys, I really want to know, man. We could all probably come to the conclusion that Keith Butler is going to have to do some different things, man. It's either the defense is too vanilla or he doesn't trust guys. I don't know. I will say he was blitzing like crazy. So for you guys, and I even leaned over and told Leonard, I said, hey, you always talk about him blitzing. He ain't had no problem blitzing tonight. But keep in mind, football people, or those who are not football extremists, you can't blitz every play. You just can't. Because I hear people all the time say, why we don't do more of that? Why we don't do? You can't become predictable in no capacity. Not with blitzing, not with going zone, not with dropping 8 in coverage. You just can't do that. It's always a cat and mouse game. That 3rd and 18, ridiculous. You can't give up 18 yards on the 3rd down, but let's acknowledge they had the right play call for it. We were playing the sticks. You saw that from the lineup. So some of you guys that may not have noticed that. You noticed we just had guys rushing, and our secondary and linebackers were way back, playing the sticks, keeping everything in front of them. They throw a quick screen. We're unable to rally fast enough to get enough blocks, and the kid gets a 1st down. Unacceptable, from your defense, but you got to acknowledge why that happened. They caught us in the right defense. So you have to give teams credit because, again, just battling, verbally with me and Leonard, and it's all in fun, all in love. But, he's like, man, we ain't getting nothing up the middle. We ain't getting nothing up the middle. I'm like, look, can you give their offensive line some credit? We can't get to the point, guys, where we think our players are going to make every play. It just don't work. It don't work like that. But it is a valid argument that these are the things we're going to have to do to get, to be successful. And once we started getting some pressure, even up the middle, we was causing some fits, pun intended. But oh Lord, Brady, yeah, man. Oh yeah, we got to face Brady too, guys. So, yeah. So, guys, let me turn it over to y'all, man. Kenyon said he has his Skype up, so let me pull up mine. And you guys give me just a second. I definitely want to get Kenyon in here, man, and see what he has to say. My God, man. Terrible, terrible, guys. But, again, I really want to know, man, from a coaching standpoint, how can they fix some of these things? Because, again, you have to acknowledge that some of these things are coaching issues, and some of these things are just, maybe we don't have the best players, et cetera, but everything is not always as easy as y'all think it is. So let me throw the headphones on, man. I'm going to see if we can get Kenyon up in this thing. Let's give him a call. And if anybody else wants to come on, man, whether it's tonight, we're not going to stay on much longer, guys, tonight. It's already 12:35, but for Terrible Towel Tuesday, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, I would love to have you guys call in, where I'm basically this one is going to be a little different, guys, than the last couple ones because obviously I'm not going to have the all 22 by tomorrow. But we'll do a few more reflections of today's game, and we'll look ahead to the Baltimore Ravens. So let's see if we can get Kenyon on really quick, guys. As y'all hear the Skype music. I think we got it. Yo, Kenyon, you on?
Yeah, you hear me? You hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, man. And you guys, make sure y'all let us know that y'all can hear Kenyon as well. You should be able to.
I'll leave my video up.
But, man, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm going to try to be nice today, but that defense is, wow. That defense is just, it's like smoke and mirrors, man. It's kind of obvious when you're watching the game. Like they are weaknesses, whereas like those linebackers, which, is hard to address.
Yeah.
Forces them to play zone. And there were a lot of cover 2 invert where in Tampa Bay, Fitzpatrick had openings. He just didn't hit them in the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
or it would have been worse. It would have been worse. So, just watching the game, it's like having to play cover 2 invert, having to play zone majority of the time, and then when Mike Hilton went out, they really exposed. It got horrible. So it was kind of like one of those things where there's really nothing. That's just going to be our defense this year.
Right.
Like there's not going to be an improvement. It's not going to be like a drastic change. We can get more pressure, We're going to have to do odd blitzes and all that stuff. But, I mean, we're not winning a 21-10 game. That's not happening. So there's going to be a lot of Superman Ben. We're going to see how it plays out.
Man, let me ask you really, really quick. I know this is a little different, but I just want to get your take on it because not too many people, man, can think about it from a business and a football standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The Le'Veon Bell situation, right? Where now they're saying the Steelers might be entertaining a trade. And keep in mind, folks, they can't do anything unless Bell signs the tag. But what would you accept for him this year? Would you go after somebody that's a defensive player on somebody's roster now, or would you prefer like a first-round pick or something like that for next draft?
I don't know. You know, I told you this last summer, Sim. I told you this before the draft that we should have traded him then.
Yeah.
It was all about people trying to be positive, but I was like, he's already kind of made his bed. He made his bed last year. You know, when he's – one thing about him, when he says something, he's kind of stuck by what he said. You know what I mean? Except for coming into camp this year. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're not getting a first-round pick for him. His value would have been crazy if we'd have traded him on draft day, during the draft. Do you know what kind of pick we would have got? We'd have been at least somewhere like in the 20s, maybe even like a 15, maybe a third-round pick, maybe a fourth-round pick. You could restock your defense like that.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, even with the not great linebackers coming out, you could have got other pieces. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, Kevin Colbert, for all his good picks, if you look at the defensive picks, they've kind of been flawed. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Artie Burns pick, you can never convince me that was a good pick because, as I said when he got drafted, and when we first hooked up, I said, yo, I'm not a believer in Artie. I said because he's a man corner and he always gets beat on double moves, and he's the same as he was when he was at Miami.
Man.
And my friend of mine worked out with him and was telling me this stuff before the draft.
Man, and how? I mean, again, I didn't make it to the NFL, guys, so I can't overly criticize. But how little of a double move was that on the one that Evans beat him on?
Oh, it's the same. if you look at every time he gets beat, it's the same route. It's almost like he goes into the film room, and it's the same route. Because if you look at it, Antonio Brown beats him on that route in practice. Now I know it's Antonio Brown, but
right.
You know, think about what is Mike Williams, what is all the big receivers going to do to him? And he, as I said, he made the best tackle of his career today, and that was just because he got benched. So to me, it's almost like it's those picks that are irritating me more than anything else with this team. It's like they kind of missed on corners. I know they wanted old boy that Cincinnati picked right before Artie. Oh. I know they really wanted him.
Yeah.
Because he was a good man corner, but it's kind of like when you watch him play, it's like, I mean, I don't really have faith in him. I was kind of out on him last year, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna give him to his third year. He was like, yeah, let's give him to his third year. So I was like, all right, Sam, I'm gonna give him to his third year. Okay, we're on the same page. then after this year, I was like, yo, that's it, man. I was like, I'm good. I was like, because it's gonna get worse. Wait till they play Atlanta. It's gonna get worse. Wait till they play like Kansas City torched them. What do you think big receivers are gonna do to him? So it's kind of like, you know, I don't even consider him a second corner. Like, to me, he's kind of like a third corner that got picked in the first round, and his value isn't what his play is. So, you know, and going back to your Le'Veon Bell thing, now you're only going to get a third for him. And to me, as I told you, they should have shipped him out. This year, I'm trying to think who would get him now. Maybe the Jets need a running back.
Yeah, maybe the Jets.
Before Garoppolo got hurt yesterday, I would have said San Francisco, because remember, they lost their running back during the game. So,
oh yeah,
they lost both of them. So San Francisco, all I care about is the picks. I just want the picks. That's what I care about, the picks. So if we can get multiple picks, I'm cool with it. But I don't know what kind of multiple picks you're going to get, knowing that Le'Veon can opt out, because the team who trades for him has to have a confidence that they can re-sign him next year. So, you know, maybe the Jets, maybe San Francisco might do it. Maybe Green Bay, because if you put him in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, it's on and cracking. You know what I mean? So
wow.
So, you know, it's that's how I kind of look at it. I kind of look at it like those are the options that they may have. I think not that they waited too long. I think they tried to play it out and they weren't going to budge. But now that they're listing the offers, it's a good thing. I mean, Le'Veon, good player, great player, probably the best back in the league. But as I said before, everything that you do in your career is a resume when you try to renegotiate. And when he first came there and he got suspended and he got hurt, all those little things that you don't think about are the things that they think about. They store that in their memory. Like, oh yeah, you got the 4 games, for being an idiot. They remember all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you say pay me this, pay me that, it's like, come on, man. Todd Gurley has no record. So when he walks to the Rams, it's like, okay, let's do this. And he's younger. So it's pretty simple. It's simple business.
That's the thing, man.
Pittsburgh's not going to change their way. They won 6 Super Bowls. Why am I changing?
Oh, man. Listen, I said that tonight sitting in my living room with my father-in-law. I was like, look, I get it. We all can be upset with why don't we do this in the offseason? Why don't we do that? I get it. And then we have the right to, but to steal away, like Kenya just said, these guys have won 6 championships. They're a perennial playoff team. I mean, they're not going to change the philosophy just because we feel like that. They just not. Unless it gets to a point where, and I hate to say this, unless it gets to a point where we are consistently 5-11, 4-12, over and over and over and over, then they might bend a little bit. But they didn't do that during the years when Cowher, underachieved, quote unquote, and Chuck Noll.
Nope.
I mean, so we might as well just get used to the steal away. Let's honestly say though that in the last couple years, Tomlin and Colbert has done some things outside of the norm when it comes to free agents and such, but don't expect the splash, man. It's just not gonna happen. Not that way.
Nah, they're not doing that. They're not gonna do the knee-jerk reaction. As fans, all of us, we get impatient. We want what we want now. We can get upset and say, we'll trade this dude or let's try to trade and get this guy. It's like, when in Steelers history have they ever done that? Now, for people that don't know the history, I understand you saying that. But if you do know the history, what big trade has the Steelers ever made? Ever? I want you to name just one player. Because the Jerome Bettis trade was really the Rams trying to dump him because he was disgruntled. And they considered him past his prime. If you remember that trade. That was past prime Jerome. So they're not going to make a big splash in trades. They're not going to go pay for a bunch of money for a free agent. They have the Steelers are a draft and breed our own player team. And then maybe you add a free agent here and there. That's what they do. It's the way they've always done it. People wishing for the glory days to say, I wish we had Troy. Troy's retired. So you got to make the moves that you got to make. And then you have to look at it like the Steelers are a team that they never, like you said, they never want to go below to get to that 5-win type of thing. You don't want to be look, I don't want to be picking at 10. I'm going to keep it 100. Right. I don't want to be picking at 15. I want to be picking at 28 to 32. That's what I want to pick because that's what I want to see every year.
32, preferably.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? 32. And if I can make it to the second round, I would do that. But it's kind of one of those things that you have to just keep in mind. Like, you don't want to do that. And Colbert, the moves that he made, in a sense, recently are trying to set up so that they don't have a fall off. You know what I mean? You draft a quarterback. So when Ben is done now, Ben comes back in great shape. I'm like, yo, man, the writing's on the wall because you thought you had it easy. So you almost have to it's like the Patriot way that people don't like when the Patriots get rid of their players. Yeah, but they're consistent. They stay winning. So what do you want? Do you want to win, or do you just want to appease people on your squad when you know their time is up? The Steelers have a great way of getting rid of you before it's time for you to go. I mean, I'm not going to say no names, but, there's a guy in Oakland right now. What is he doing?
Yeah. About to be suspended.
How many teams Mike Wallace been on?
Yeah.
I'll wait. So that's my point. So, like, when people get upset, I'm like, yo, it's nothing you can do. It's like they draft. They're like Green Bay and Pittsburgh, New England. They're very much alike in the way they do business. draft and stock their players and try to groom them, whatever. You're going to hit and miss. The reality is you're not hitting 100% on all your players. It's just not going to happen. You get upset with the cornerbacks, like with Artie and drafted. I mean, Artie reminds me of that cornerback we drafted a long time ago, Chad Scott. He just reminds me of him because I'll just look at him and say, oh my God. It's like Chad Scott never got better. Then he got hurt. And when you don't progress, that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So Artie's had 3 years. He's doing the same mistakes. It's like, I know Mike Tomlin has to be infuriated with him. To bench him now, to start a journeyman cornerback over him.
And see, I'm glad you said that because nobody sees that. And listen, we're not letting the coaches off the hook. I think Kenyon, had a lot to say last week about coaching, and it is some coaching things. Every coach is going to have things that we don't agree with. But no one is paying attention to that. He sat Artie down. You did not see Artie Burns in base defense. Early, 3rd week of the season. That's letting you know that the Steelers staff is not just sitting there, we're just going to rock with this guy. No. They see it the same way we do, but the team is built. And I see some people saying, well, try Brian Allen. Like, nah, man. I mean, Artie going to give you better than Brian Allen right now. I'm not saying that guy is not good at all, but we saw how he played in preseason. I think a lot of us, Kenya, man, I've been victim of this before. Sometimes we think we know more than the coaches. These guys who see these guys day in and day out on the field, and we don't. Sometimes we think certain guys made a mistake, and maybe it was somebody else. I mean, watching the All-22 has helped me with that. But trust me, if there was somebody that they felt was better on the squad now to help, they'd be in the game.
Yep.
We have to trust that.
Yep. And I think that your first round pick goes a long way. You understand what I mean? Like, yeah. Your chance meter, your 9 lives become 9 lives. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're just a straight bust. I mean, if you look at their first round picks, where it's Artie or Bud Dupree, where people say Bud played good, I'm like, yeah, Bud played good, but he missed that sack.
Sure did.
But people don't talk about that. I'm like, you let Ryan Fitzpatrick get away from you? Are you serious?
Come on, man.
What is he running, like a 5'3", 5'6"? And you're like right there. I'm like, that's my issue with Bud Dupree. Like, he looks like a specimen.
Yeah, he don't finish.
But he don't play like a specimen. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. So it's like you say, you don't know what they see every day, but obviously the tape is telling them Artie's getting beat on the same plays. He's making the same mistake. And if you think about the 3 games we played this year, Artie has gotten beat on the same play all 3 games. Then he got a penalty. We took his helmet off, and I told you earlier that he did it in Miami. He got him in Miami. The same receiver got him in Miami. He did that to him in Miami. Frustrated him. So, and I was like, so if you're getting out of your head, this team reminds me of, like, I'll use a basketball analogy. Remember the Portland Trail Blazers that played the Lakers when they had Shaq and Kobe? They had more talent than the Lakers as a team. But Shaq and Kobe were the better players, 1-2, but they were smarter. Like, Portland did stupid stuff in the game. You know what I mean? Like, they would always do, like, stupid, like, turn it over when you shouldn't. Throw an alley-oop pass from half court. You're like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It's like, that's how I look at Pittsburgh. A bunch of guys that are very talented, but I don't know if their IQ is right there, which is what I always tell you. And that includes Ben, because even Ben makes decisions where you question, like, okay,
crazy plays. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Well, man, I have one other guy that wants to come on, man, but before you come on, because we're going to probably wrap it up after him, anything else, man, that you want to say to the people while you're on?
It's going to be an interesting season. It'll be a long season. Try to have patience. We'll all get frustrated. You know what I mean? It's part of the deal. But, it's the way it is right now. It's the things that they couldn't address and the things that are glaring holes. And to be honest with you, I just want them to trade. I kind of want Le'Veon to be gone. Like, I'm already there. I'm at that point. I'm already past
Let's
him
move
coming.
on.
I don't want him back. So I mean, that's basically it. You know, we could be all right. You know what I'm saying? We still have enough talent to make moves, and if we play it right, get a couple of picks, you know, we'll be drafting the tight end. We'll be looking for a linebacker. I think Vance McDonald gets hurt too much to try to trust him, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then we'll be looking for an inside linebacker. I'm already scouting, checking out LSU game. It's a dude from LSU that I think would fit perfectly in our defense. A stud. So you know, I'm looking around at running backs and looking around at that stuff, and I think we'll draft that. I know we'll draft a corner now. There'll be a lot of pretty good corners coming out with some size, and so it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year. You know, not to look ahead, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And thank you for having me. And you know, whenever you want to chop it up again, you know.
Yeah, man. Of course. I'm glad we finally got you on, man. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be a reoccurrence.
A recurring character.
Absolutely. But all right, man. I'll catch you tomorrow more than likely. Appreciate you always chiming in, and that's Kenyon, guys. So he's always in here talking with us. So now you can put a voice to it, and eventually, what I'm going to try to do, man, is try to get both cameras to work, because even right now, Kenyon had his camera on. He probably couldn't see me because I have my camera, my main camera here in the stream, but I think I could use the webcam that's sitting right in front of me, put that in Skype, so at least, you know, the guys who call in can see me, and then I could probably get it to where it will show in the stream. So that way, you know, if you guys want to see people, etc., we'll do it like that. I'm going to bring on Deron Smith really quick. It is 12:53, man. I want to try to get out of here by 1-ish. But let me say this. Going forward, guys, what I definitely want to do, I want this to be every day, you know, every week thing where you guys are calling in. And if we can get it like that, you know, of course, I let, you know, Kenyon go tonight because really Kenyon is the only one who reached out outside of Deron. I would love to get it, man, where it's like a thing where you guys are calling, boom, 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 rapid fire. You know, you say a little piece, I respond, boom. And I get multiple people in because it's really for you guys. You know, y'all don't want to just see the talking head here. I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. So the way we'll probably do that going forward, man, is we'll get together maybe on Twitter. If you guys are not on Twitter, you can send me an email, you know, simfballcritic, same as the channel here, at gmail.com. Let me know you want to come on, you know, so I can at least kind of know how many, because, you know, we're going to have to do it sort of like Wolf and Tunch or Cook and Pony, guys. Like, I can't take every call, but I'll be able to take at least a certain amount. So let's go ahead and get it popping real quick. Let's get Deron in, and we can go ahead and close out. And shout outs, man, to round of applause to Brent Fox. Thank you for the donation, man. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. And let me just make sure Deron is available here. And once he confirms, we will get him in really quick. Yep, he's still here. So let me give him a call, guys. Give me a quick second. Get your dance on to that chime.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? You live. What you got for us, brother?
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't got no more nails biting my nails that whole fourth quarter. Here's the thing, you know, I agree with y'all with Artie Burns. Artie Burns needs to do something, because technically this is his contract year.
Right.
Pittsburgh is either going to say, you know what, we're done with you, or you know what, we're going to keep you. If I would have made it to the NFL, me personally, during my off season, you know how they always tracking players, I would have been training with every corner that I possibly can, from the best in zone to the best in man to the best in press coverage. That's what, I don't know, if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me, but if you're getting paid all this money and you know that your performance is based on your money is based on your performance. Well, then I'm gonna do everything I can, like James Harrison. Because I mean, come on now, he smacked Father Time in the face. How many years?
Yeah. How many other people did that though?
I mean,
you get these rare specimens sometimes.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at. I'll go back to somebody else, James Ferrier.
Yeah, Ferrier was a monster.
Brett Kiesel.
The beard. It's my guy.
You gotta look at it. You getting paid all this money. You getting beat. I mean, I'm seeing this right as soon he lines up. Like I coach flag football, and I tell my players, stop with the pee-pee legs. He lines up with his knees touching each other.
Yeah.
If you have to jump to start your run, then you're not doing something right. You should be down to where you almost in a sitting position. So as soon as the ball is hiked, you leaning back. Now, I'll leave him alone for a little bit because that was terrible. But our linebackers, my goodness.
Boy, do we miss Shazier.
Boy, do we miss Shazier. And they fanned to him a couple times, and you could see in his face that he was heated, that he was not out there. And that's what I love about him. Even though he can't play, you see he's at every game. He's at every practice, every meeting, everything. He's when they're on the sidelines, he's talking to him, hey, do this, do that. Now, I know everybody's saying, with Le'Veon Bell, oh, we shouldn't trade him. Some people saying he should, some people saying we shouldn't. I say we trade him for a very, very nice inside linebacker. Someone can literally cover. And, I mean, there ain't nobody out there that can be Ryan Shazier, but we need somebody who can come close to it. Because right now, our middle is getting ate like kids eating cookies.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I mean, Bostic made one play, and again, I don't even want to put it too much on him. Sometimes how I'm sure you saw it. You just look at a guy and be like, he just can't. He just can't do it. He made one breakup, but the guy still was in front of him. It's just he just can't run with him, man. We need somebody else in there. I don't know why we haven't slid a safety in that spot.
See,
I don't know.
And that's what I was looking at. I'm like, all right, I seen that a couple times they put Edwards playing him in the middle, but then other times they was pushing them back. In your sub packages, put Edwards in the middle, and even if you still want to use Vince Williams as playing the actual playing the run, you need that because right now we're getting ate up. 411 yards. Come on. And then 6 touchdowns last week. This isn't the team that I'm used to seeing, but I understand, we got some pieces. Sean Davis, I'm sorry. You're done. He got ate up badly.
I don't know, though. I don't feel as bad about Dave. I think now, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's doing great, but I think he's playing better at free safety than we've seen him play his first 2 years. At least he's around the ball. You know what I mean? Like, he's there. He's making some tackles. I don't think that Davis is playing as bad as we think so far. But the jury's out. We'll keep an eye on him the rest of the season.
I was about to say, I'll keep an eye on him, but I'm looking at everything. I mean, Bud Dupree, everybody, they talk mess. Yes. How he let that old man outrun him, I don't know. Maybe he stubbed his toe or twisted his ankle, something. I don't know. you got to ask him. But I mean, he had an interception technically he had 2 sacks, which will only be in the stats as 1 sack because they was both half sacks. But he is, he's trying to do better. And from what I heard, like I said, I just have read it online. He actually went and trained with James Harrison during the offseason to try to get better. He called up Lamar Woodley. He's trying, to get better. I think by Pittsburgh not picking up that 5th-year option on him, he's like, oh shoot, I better perform or I'm gonna be out of a job.
No, they picked it up.
I thought, last time I had checked, they was still out about it.
No, they picked Buds up. They have until some point in the offseason they could take it back. But they gave it to him.
Okay. And another person who I would have had, now everybody say, yeah, we signed him good. I would have had waited to give our kicker that long-term contract.
Yeah.
He done went and left on the field in all 3 games. I think it's like 16 points on missed extra kicks and field goals that he usually banks them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm to the point where I'm looking. Hey, where's Sean Sweezum at? Is he still?
Nah, it's too early.
No, I'm just like keeping my eye out on it. Like, dude, you missing chip shots that. Now I can understand if it was 45 plus. You missing those, but you missing ones that's under 40. I can't just sit back and be like, oh, okay, cool. You'll get them next time. Just like the press conference that Tomlin had this past week. He even said, no, we might be looking at other options. Barry came out and he showed his behind off. He was like, I ain't about to lose my job. Even though, once again, what you have said about what, as in a coaching standpoint, what they can do, start benching cats. And that's one thing that back when I played, when I wasn't playing our coaches came to us, said that we had 4 plays on offense, 4 plays on defense. If we didn't do anything, he was sitting our butts down and letting the backups play.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. My only concern on this level, because me and my father-in-law was actually talking about that during the game. My reply back to that is, we're talking about the NFL, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. Who replaces these guys? Like, who does it hurt? Does it hurt the team? Or does it... Now, again, I'm not saying these guys are doing great, but let's say, who is Artie's replacement? Who is Bostic's replacement? Now, like I said, let's try and see what Matthew Thomas could do pass-wise, but we have to, I guess, and again, it's all opinions. None of us are right or wrong. We're just sharing our thoughts. I think we get into touchy waters when we do that, though, because, like I saw a lot of people say, bench Antonio Brown. Like, okay, that sounds cute, but, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I feel what you're saying, though. I'm right there with you, but we need to acquire some more talent somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, and like I said, I'm looking at this. Yeah, there's some veterans out there that you like. Oh yeah, so let's go and grab another wily veteran. Some of them is well past their prime, because I've seen on a lot of Steeler fan sites that I'm on, people saying let's go get Roger Clemardi because he's still a free agent. Let's go and try to. I'm like, no, because and then there's people talking about we need to go get Revis.
Oh,
Revis is washed up.
He can't run.
we seen that last year. Revis is washed up. If you're going to go after some players, I don't see, even trying to trade to get some players, I don't see nobody out there who can actually come in and do anything. And that's the sad thing about it. We had a chance during free agency to get some nice corners, but we didn't. I don't know, money wise, which once Le'Veon Bell is gone, that's 15 mil or whatever. That'll be off the books. So we'll be able to go and get some better players.
Breland? Wait a minute. My man Captain Spartan said, "Is Breland still a free agent?" Are we talking about Rashad Breland? Am I saying his name right? The guy from the Redskins, the guy that AV torched on Monday night that year?
I think so.
No, stop. Stop, guys. And again, it's just opinions. Listen, I'm not trying to, I don't know all the answers, but everybody's eyeball test should say no way. Not that guy. And again, I'm not calling him a bum. I didn't make it to the NFL. He's just not as good. Look at my boy Tony say he's a bum. He's just not as a great corner in regards to, or in comparison to his peers. Let's say that.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I was one of the people that was rooting, hoping, and praying when Richard Sherman was available for Pittsburgh to go get him.
Yeah.
I think because of the way he plays reminds me of Ike Taylor back in his prime. When that whole go get him attitude, you could put him by himself and he'll do good.
Yeah. I think he could give you what Joe Hayden gives you. Sometimes a veteran just has that knack. Like Joe Hayden obviously don't run the way he used to, but he just has the knack. And all corners are gonna get beat sometimes. It happens. It's the NFL. But you just want that percentage rate to be in reverse of Artie Burns. Like Artie, to me, to all of us. Let's just say that. I think we get all inclusive here and say Artie Burns, his percentage of getting beat versus not, it just has not been good. I'm not expecting him to be, or we can't expect Deion Sanders every time we draft somebody. But come on, man. Come on, Artie.
I mean, at least give me Thompson, the corner who used to be on the opposite side of Ike Taylor. At least give me him. He used to get burnt once in a while, but at least he was there. If he got burnt, he didn't get burnt until his latter years, like flat out getting burnt down the field. He kept. I look at it like this: if Artie Burns cannot keep with his routes and stuff, get better at his press coverage.
Right.
Make it to where that receiver is out of the equation. You only need to bump that receiver, because if you bump him out of bounds, he can't touch the ball anyway. So if you get him out of the play, then good. That's the way that, like I said, I coach flag football. That's the way that I tell my cats straight up. Bump them and make them play the outside. Do not give them inside leverage, and that's what Artie Burns always do. He gives the cat too much inside leverage, and then he wants to, play. I call it ballerina toes, going backwards. No.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of improvement to do, man. Just looking at the time here, it's 1:11. I need to get up out of here, man. But any last remaining things you want to say before we close it out?
Oh, man, I'm glad that you said something about the time. I got work in the morning.
Yeah, guys, I told y'all it was going to be a late one tonight, man. I totally forgot we had Monday Night Football, but it is what it is, man. We all was up. I guess an extra hour won't kill us.
Oh, no. Because I was going to do nothing but go and analyze everything, each play and stuff, and see what going on with the team, see what can be improved on.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Roethlisberger started looking like his old self a little bit. He got to stop making those dumb passes though, because that interception was a dumb pass on his part. It was 4 people there, and just I think was just Antonio Brown. No, go somewhere else. I understand you want to get AB into the game, but if he got 4 people there, that means Juju or the tight ends or somebody is gonna be open.
And Juju, man, Juju was working tonight. I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised at the end of the season. Juju Smith-Schuster has more yards, possibly more receptions than Antonio Brown. And that's only because of the way coverage is going to be dictated. But if Juju continues to eat, it might open it back up for AB. So I'm gonna hold I'm gonna hold that prediction for now. It's only been 3 weeks, but we'll see. We'll see.
Look, we'll come back about at the halfway point when let's say the bye week, see how everything's going.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But let me go ahead and get out of here, man. Ron, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Guys, let me set this expectation again so you guys know the schedule. Tomorrow, yes, we'll be back. Terrible Towel Tuesday. I'm going to challenge some of you guys, man, to come on. What I would love this to be, I want it to be, I know this is more of a laid-back format, but I would love it to be where I'm hearing from you guys constantly. I want to hear your thoughts, your suggestions, your opinions, your love for the coaches, your hate for the coaches, all of that. I want us to have a nice place here where we're communicating, nice little dialogue. And what you guys basically will need, Skype. I do it currently on Skype. I might switch to Discord at some point, but right now, all I need is your Skype name. You can call in. If you want your face to appear, you have the option to do video and audio. And, if I find out that a lot of you guys are wanting to do that, I could easily just capture the Skype window and, put you guys here on the show as well so people can see your faces. But you don't really have to do that. Really, it's just about the audio. So, yeah, Skype. But what I would really want this to be is that you guys, just like any other show that all of us may have listened to, some of us diehards have definitely listened to, Steelers post-game shows. And like I said, Tunch and Wolf throughout the week, or Cook and Pony right after the games. I want to offer that as well. Stan, all those guys in Pittsburgh. I would love for people to call in, give your frustrations, and we all chop it up. Myself will reply. You guys reply in the comments, and we'll have a good time. So once we get it up to speed, guys, we'll limit it. I'll limit everybody. I have a timer. I'll limit everybody to about 2 minutes, just so we can keep the train moving. But that's what we want to do. But let me get out of here, man. Sorry for keeping you guys up, but, you must really love the Steelers. Or me, I don't know what it is. Are you guys up at 1 something in the morning? But, yeah, let's get out of here, man. We got to win. We got to win. We got to be excited about that. But that stomach has to be tightened in knots right now. Looking at that defense. Let's hope and pray, man, that it's just week 3 woes. And maybe it will improve. We've seen this happen before, but we've also seen our defense show its ugly head later in the season. Hopefully it's a turnaround somewhere. All right, man. So appreciate you guys coming through, man. You guys showed much love tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, make sure you subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern for Terrible Towel Tuesday. Again, we'll talk about a little bit more about tonight. And, if you guys call in, feel free to share your thoughts. But outside of that, we'll look ahead to the Baltimore Ravens. Another primetime game, and a game that we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. All right. See y'all later. Let's get it. Here we go, Steelers. We'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace.